Dear students, today we are going to continue lesson 3, the circulatory and respiratory system. First of all, we should to know the function of respiratory system. So what are the functions of the respiratory system? Your cells need a constant supply of oxygen to stay alive. So any cell in your body or tissue or organ needs an oxygen to stay alive. Your cell must also be able to get rid of the waste products like carbon dioxide. So cell take oxygen and get rid of carbon dioxide. Any cell in your body. The respiratory system is a group of organs that take in oxygen and get rid of carbon dioxide. So the function of respiratory system to take in oxygen and get rid of carbon dioxide. Respiration is the transport of oxygen from the outside the body to the cell and tissues, and transport of waste out of the body. So the function of respiration or breathing or inhale to take in oxygen and exhale carbon dioxide. What are the parts of the respiratory system? Air enters your respiratory system through your nose. So air enters your respiratory system through your nose or through your mouth. So air enters your respiratory system through your nose and your mouth. From the nose, air flow into the pharynx or throat. So air pass here from the nose through the pharynx. This part called pharynx, this, or throat. The pharynx is branched into two tubes. Look, pharynx here is branched into two tubes, like this, two tubes. One tube is the esophagus. One tube is the esophagus. This one, this tube is the esophagus, which leads to the stomach. This esophagus leads to the stomach, pass through and move to the stomach. While the other tube is the larynx, which leads to the lung. This larynx, this one, larynx, which is passed to the lung, which leads to the lung. So pharynx is branched into two tubes. First tube is esophagus and which lead to the stomach, while larynx which leads to the lung. The larynx is connected to large tube called the trachea. So larynx here is connected. Larynx here is connected to a large tube called trachea. This larynx is connected to a large tube called the trachea. This one called the trachea. Airflow from the larynx through the trachea to the lung. This trachea, this one trachea, and this small one is larynx. So air passes through the larynx, from the larynx through the trachea and then to the lung. The trachea split into two branches, which is called bronchi or bronchus. These two tubes. The trachea split into two branches called the bronchi, which connect to each lung, left and right lung and left lung. This called bronchi or bronchus, and this trachea. this trachea, large tube. So larynx is connected with a large tube called trachea, and trachea branched into two tubes called bronchi. Each tube called bronchi split into two branches, each one called bronchi, and then each one into the right lung and left lung, and connected to the lung, left or right lung, right one and left one. Each bronchi branches into bronchioles. Each bronchi or bronchus branches into bronchioles. This branches called bronchioles. This one, bronchioles. This branches called bronchioles. So each bronchi or bronchus branches into bronchioles. These branches, these small branches, called bronchioles. The bronchioles lead to tiny sacs, tiny air sac, called alveoli. Alveoli surrounded by blood vessels or capillaries, where gas exchange takes place. Look, these bronchi and these small branches called bronchioles. This one, yes, this one. While tiny sacs, this tiny sacs called alveoli. Look, this is alveoli. This ball, this tiny sacs called alveoli. Alveoli surrounded by blood vessels, like in this foot. Look, this blood vessels or capillaries, where gas exchange take place. So the gas exchange take place in the alveoli. Alveoli like this, surrounded by blood vessels or capillaries, small blood vessels like this. When the oxygen or blood that carry carbon dioxide get inside this alveoli, exchange will happen. Take in oxygen and get rid carbon dioxide from the blood. The diaphragm. The diaphragm is a dome-shaped muscle. Here, this one is called diaphragm. Dome-shaped muscle below the rib cage and lungs. So it present below the rib cage, this rib cage and lungs,